All right.
High five.
He's not even high-fiving.
Not with that attitude.
He's God's right hand. God's right hand is not going to high-five you.
Not with that attitude.
High-five in the face. All right, he's angry.
Come on. Everyone deserves a high five.
He's the Ghost Rider of DC.
And so he needs a buddy to possess.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Loyal.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Z's Comics Talks Movies, TV, and more.
See, if we had the intro ready,
we would have been all right.
That would have been it right there. Been like lawyered, and then boom, hit the music.
Yep, that's true. That would have been our cold open.
Yeah.
All right. Not really a whole lot of movie news in the geek community this past week, but we do have a couple things from CES. Starting with Helldivers 2. You heard that,
starting
right?
with 2 and not 1.
So
they're doing a Star Wars.
So I could what? So Helldivers 2 was the game name.
Yeah.
Was there a Helldivers 1?
Yeah.
There was?
I'm pretty sure there was.
No.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything about it. Because Helldivers 2, because they announced that Helldivers 2 is the one getting the movie. In association with PlayStation Production and Sony Pictures, according to Assad Kazilbash.
It's a sequel to Helldivers, a 2015 top-down shooter.
So why is Helldivers 2 getting the movie and not Helldivers 1?
They going Star Wars on
it? All right,
or something?
But here's my whole thing about this. Isn't it basically Starship Troopers?
It's definitely Starship Troopers.
Because I played a little bit of it, and it's Starship Troopers, right?
The only downside is just that Starship Troopers games are kind of sad.
I mean, well, the new one came out. I heard it was pretty good, but got overshadowed by Helldivers because of popularity. And then Helldivers 2 is third person, whereas the Starship Troopers one was first person, right?
No, I think Helldivers was first person. Starship Troopers was third person.
No. Helldivers 2 is definitely third person, but Starship Troopers, the newer video game, I'm pretty sure is first person. And a lot of people preferred Helldivers 2 because you could see your environment a lot better.
I know. I do like third person.
I think that's why I don't really care about Call of Duty that much. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad games. It's just they're not for me.
That's kind of like the one thing that when it does come out during the spring, that I'm sad about the Indiana Jones game is it's first person.
Oh,
first person Indiana Jones game.
Okay.
But I'm like, I don't get the feel of seeing the fedora and all that. It's like, bro.
No, you're gonna have an indicator. It's gonna say, oh, well, you're missing your hat, and you got to turn around and fight.
See, if it falls off, then I'm like, that's horrible. His hat should never fall off. It only falls off
twice.
Yep, only twice.
No, 3 times.
Because the hero's hat never falls off.
Well, it falls off in the first one after he does the Mega Man slide underneath the door, and then whoop, he grabs it.
That's the second one.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's Temple of Doom. His hat falls off, and he's
running from. You're right.
Yeah, it's Temple of Doom. Hat falls off.
You're right.
And then in the third one, when he gets surprised, he does that surprise thing before he goes off the cliff. After that, it does not come off again. The hero's hat never falls off, bro.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if his hat comes off in the game, and it's not good solid reasoning,
hey man, Last Crusade was great.
It was.
Right? Last
tremendous.
Crusade was good. It'll be on par with Last Crusade.
I still like Crystal Skull too.
I'm not a fan of that one.
It may have been
interdimensional beings. Come on, man, magic, right?
Hey, they definitely kind of there. They were talking about how Steven Spielberg had when they first got the idea, trying to get him back with this, he had just finished doing Independence Day, and he was like, I'm tired of aliens, I don't want to do aliens, so they had George Lucas shoehorn in, they're like, no, they're interdimensional beings, bro. So, it's that give and take, but I still like it. It's still entertaining.
Okay.
And I still
it has its high points, but to me, it's the weakest of them. To me, it's the weakest.
The newest one is the weakest of them.
I still haven't seen it.
It's pretty good. It's enjoyable. But it's definitely kind of the weakest.
I still need to watch it. One day I just need to carve out a couple hours just to sit down and watch a bunch of movies.
Crystal Skull still was because sure, Crystal Skull wasn't met with good praise, but it was a nice ending for Indiana Jones. And so with them coming back with this one, it's just kind of oh, okay, now this is the ending for him, and it's just it'd have been better with the other one. especially with like a little thing that happens.
Let's just like
a certain character.
Let's just reboot the entire thing.
Nah, we need Short Round.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. Right. Yeah. Bring back Short Round as the new.
That's some
not Indiana Jones, but like continue the adventures. Okay.
Yep.
Next up. Ghost of Tsushima Legends, the anime was announced also at CES this past week. And there's a list of people associated with this, so hang on. So this is in association between Crunchyroll, Aniplex, Sony Music, and PlayStation Productions. The expected release date is somewhere around 2027, and like, I remember when this game came out, everybody was friggin' going nuts over it. They were saying, "Oh my gosh, this is the next Souls game," and then they couldn't even beat like half of the game because it was too difficult for them.
That sounds like the next Souls.
It sounds like the next Souls game, but I've heard nothing but good things about Ghost of Tsushima. I know there's a sequel coming out soon, or has it already come out?
I don't think it's out.
No. I think it's in development. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it. I gotta look for it. And there hasn't been news about it in about a year or so, right?
Yeah.
So not only that, Shrek 5 sadly has been delayed until December 23rd of 2026. The original release date was July 1st of 2026. So not too much of a pushback, but
still sad.
I mean,
because
yeah,
I need my Shrek.
Someone once told me the world was going to roll me.
Sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes after that, you just get accidentally in love.
Yep. I forgot about that song in there. Next, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 production photos tease new location for the sequel, and this comes after it came out 2023, right? December 2023, and the creator of the games said that the film sequel is probably gonna follow the sequel game closer than the first movie did. But aside from that, dude, we gotta get one of the kids over here to explain FNAF lore, because I can't follow it and they can. There's time travel involved. There's technology and like magic and dark magic. Yeah,
for a game that started out as just a phone app game, stuff really went
like it took off an entire life of its own. And because kids they just like vomit out like whatever they're interested in, and when they tell me about it, dude, it sounds really cool. It's just like I can't sit there and pay attention to the games for that long. You know what I mean? Because there's so many games, there's so many books, there's so many comics, and now they're having movies just retelling it.
It's basically like the new generation of Star Wars.
Pretty much, yeah.
Stuff just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, man, and I don't know how the hell they found out about this game, because at one point I didn't let them, like play M-rated games and stuff, and then like now they're just playing all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
technology.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie production photos. We're going to be showing you that right there, and then now for the rumor mill. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. According to rumors, James Wan is going to be approached to direct. James Wan also directed Aquaman. Did he also direct Aquaman too?
Aquaman
and the Conjuring universe, all the Annabelle and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not really excited about his work on Aquaman. I mean, he did the best with what he could. Okay, he did the best with what he could.
Exactly.
All right, but
be dissing James Wan.
I'm not dissing James Wan. All right, he did the best with what he could. Okay,
he would do Ronin good.
I think he will. I think he's a good choice to do the Last Ronin storyline for the movie, and we still got the game coming out too. I mean, Last Ronin's crazy right now. We got the sequel series every 1 issue every 3 friggin' months. It's supposed to be a 8-issue series.
I know.
Yeah, it's insane.
So weird.
I know.
That's how I feel about Milk Run right now. It's like, bro, what the heck?
So, okay.
And then I was looking ahead, and on top of that too, I was looking ahead and like the site that I go to for new comics, and I was all like, wait a minute, like a few weeks from now, there's supposed to be another Wolverine's Revenge, and I'm all like, I forgot about this thing.
Oh yeah, they delayed it. They delayed it a couple times, but I think it had more to do with Diamond's production schedule than anything.
Diamond, come on,
dude. They closed their only distribution center now because they're working with one distribution center at the moment, and they closed it because of inclement weather. Now, yeah, you got to, but at the same time, they haven't sent me anything indicating this.
Yeah,
they have an alert on their site, but I haven't got an email. I haven't been told anything. I had to find out from updates on random news sites that it got closed.
Come on,
so what the hell, man?
Communications.
Yeah, like how am I gonna let my customers know? Hey, my distributor messed up, or my distributor is bogged down in snow, or my distributor's warehouse is on fire. I can't get anything. Something like that, But like communication, man. Like I'm over here losing money because they can't tell me, hey, tell your customers to wait a few days, or no one in your area is going to be able to get this. Stuff like that. So it's kind of really mad, really making me mad. Also, for the rumor mill, Catherine Hahn is being approached, is supposedly being approached to play Mother Gothel in the live-action Tangled adaptation. So, I'm gonna be real, man. That's one of my favorite ones.
It is. I love it. I love that movie.
I think that's one of the first. Oh, dude, the horse and Pascal. I love them. I think that's one of the first movies that we took Serenity to. Way back then.
Way back in the day.
Yeah, her first movie was actually Real Steel. Yeah, the Hugh Jackman movie. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, there's a movie where all the sequel talks just haven't gone anywhere.
Oh my gosh, that was
great.
It's such an underrated movie. If you haven't seen Real Steel with Hugh Jackman, go and watch it.
It's tremendous.
Pause us, go and watch it, and then come back and leave a comment saying how good it was.
Exactly.
All right. But yeah, the being cast. The rumor is that she's on the short list to be cast as Mother Gothel in the live action. So I could see it, man. Catherine Hahn, I could see it. There's also another rumor going around regarding James Gunn's new DCEU and the casting of Darkseid, possibly James Brolin, and really the
Josh
only
James is his dad.
Did I say James? I thought I said Josh.
Yeah, you said Josh. I mean, you put down Josh, but you said James.
Oh man, I can't read right now. I have dyslexia. So Josh Brolin is being eyed as the new DCU Darkseid, supposedly. The only verification that anybody's really got, aside from a couple leaks here and there, is the fact that he keeps on liking a bunch of Darkseid edits of him as the character. So could that be taken as him, confirming that he's been cast? I don't know. Could that be like, man, I like this artwork? It's probably that one, but I could see it.
Not that
He's already Thanos.
That's why I don't want him.
Nah, man. Nah, that would be a great crossover because James Gunn and Kevin Feige have already met and been talking about a potential crossover.
Yes,
a potential crossover. And as both of them have said, nothing is off the table as long as there's money involved.
Obviously.
You know what I mean?
And done right,
that would be like one of the most ambitious crossovers ever. You think Avengers or even Endgame was that? Or even, No Way Home?
Nah, bro. That's a Raven, Sweet Life, Hannah Montana, and
I maintain that this will rival that one. The Sweet Life on deck with Hannah Montana and That's So Raven.
Nah, you know what? Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles.
Nah.
So ambitious that we don't even remember one of the characters that was in there because
Venus de Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think I didn't remember, but I did. But yeah. So
if anything, I would rather Josh Brolin to play be casted as he could be Deathstroke. He could be a good Deathstroke. No. I could see him as a Deathstroke.
No, man, it has to be Megan Yellow. Yeah, it has
if he came back, yes. Obviously, that's number one. If he could be one of the people that's hey,
he's still got it.
Let's pick him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, just for the memes of having, I don't want Josh Brolin to play Darkseid just for the memes.
It's not for the memes. It's like two characters head to head because in the amalgam in the amalgam production, DC versus Marvel or Marvel versus DC. I can't remember how it goes. Darkseid and Thanos, they wound up facing each other, but they didn't fight. They worked together. They were going to fight, and then they were like, well, let's just take over everything, and then we'll settle this between us later. They're like, okay, priorities first. Let's make sure everything is under our thumb, and then we'll fight for control. And I want to see that. All right, I want to see him beating his own ass.
Nah, I just unless he like does some voice acting here and changes the voice a little bit, I don't want to just hear. All right, I mean, Darkseid's got the same voice as Thanos.
Yeah,
that's mainly. That's honest. I'll rechange my thing, my stance, and say that's the main reason.
I don't want a little bit more boom in Darkseid's voice.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want some difference, some differentiation. How do you say that? Differentiate? Nah, I can't.
Differentiate?
Yes.
You want to differentiate between Thanos and
yes. I want something like that.
You have to
if he's just gonna pull a Chris Pratt and
okay, yeah, no.
And
Josh Brolin, I think, is a better voice actor than Chris Pratt can be. Okay.
That's gonna be. I will say that. I will change it to that. As long as he changes the voice a bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will. Okay. But all right. Because you could totally cast Bradley Cooper in any of the Marvel stuff and have him use his real voice rather than Rocket's.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I wanted him as Adam.
Would have been good.
I wanted him as Adam Warlock. He could do it. All right.
He could have been a good Booster Gold.
Dude, he would have been a friggin' great Booster Gold. But then again, I still maintain Sean William Scott would have been a great.
Yes, he would have been tremendous.
Yeah. So that about does it for our movie section. Moving on to the TV streaming world, we're also rolling in anime just because I forgot to separate this. All right, so starting off, Marvel Eyes of Wakanda. Its showrunner Todd Harris teases the upcoming animated series with details about the Hatut Zaraze, which is basically Wakanda's CIA, and they're tasked with tracking down and retrieving stolen tech, stolen resources, mainly vibranium, and having to balance their devotion to Wakanda, to the Black Panther King, all that stuff, with seeing the outside world. And yeah, Wakanda is more advanced, but you also have ice cream over here or whatever. Like just an example, stupid example, but yeah, and. Supposedly, it's going to delve into each generation or several generations of these Wakandan spies out in the main Marvel universe, main Marvel MCU throughout its history. So this actually sounds really cool. It's going to be an animated series.
I think they'll try to touch on the possibility rumor that they're saying of finally recasting Black Panther.
I doubt it. I think that the Black Panther 3 may have because Black Panther 3 is supposed to take place after Secret Wars.
Yes.
So I'm thinking it's going to be like a soft reboot of everything.
Another T'Challa.
Probably, or maybe it's going to be after the most recent Secret Wars, Jonathan Hickman and I can't remember the artist, but yeah, Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, where everything is mostly the same. It's just minute details that are being changed.
Oh, so I mean? possibly
that might have been.
He never even died. He got plucked, and then just to keep it in line, they're like, we can't return you to that point, so you're still going to be dead through Black Panther 2, and then bam, you're back. We plop you back.
Maybe it's possible because of how that storyline. Basically was worded because obviously in that storyline is how we get Miles Morales in the main 616 comic universe.
Yes.
Just because he gave Molecule Man a burger and he was like, man, that was a damn good burger.
A tasty burger.
Yeah. And so Molecule Man basically plucked him from his timeline in the Ultimate Universe, which was going to die anyway, and put him in the 616 as a favor. Him, his family, everybody, but they all have history there. That's the thing. But Miles already knows that him and his family don't belong there, and the Maker forced his way into the 616, and they both know what's happening. They both know what's different. So this could be one of those situations in the Black Panther 3 movie.
Interesting.
Moving on, Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2 recasts Baylan Skoll, famously played by, oh my god, Ray Stevenson. Ray Stevenson passed away this past year, late 2023. I think it was this past year, right? Or early 2024?
Yeah, something like that.
They have recast his character, Baylan Skoll, with Rory McCann. Rory McCann played the Wolf in Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Right? The Wolf, right? I forget the name.
Yeah,
Yeah, he played
the Mountain's brother. He was the Mountain's brother.
Mm-hmm. He played Arya's first protector. I can't remember the name. It's been a while since I've seen the series.
But yeah, Mountain, and then there's
honestly, I think it's a good casting.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
you toss some beard on him, some white hair. I would think it'll be all right.
Work. Yeah.
Reacher season 3 premieres February 20th on Amazon Prime, and. Dude, the guy that they got to play one of the antagonists just dwarfs Alan Ritchson. And Alan Ritchson is what, 6'3"?
Yeah, he's like 6'3". Yeah. Freaking jacked as heck.
Yeah.
Wild.
I still say he should be, Batman. He should be Batman. Either him or Jensen Ackles.
It's the race between him and Jensen, it seems.
Yeah.
And then...
Jensen Ackles is already Batman, kind of.
He voiced Batman, at least.
It's
the progression, you know? Yeah. You start off as Red Hood, then you voice Batman, then you possibly play him in live action. It's the progression.
Yep. Dexter Resurrection confirms the return of David Zayas, playing Angel Batista, Jack Alcott as Harrison Morgan from Dexter New Blood, and James Remar as... Harry Morgan, playing the Ghost, his dark passenger, retaking the role back from Jennifer Carpenter that played his dark passenger in New Blood. No word if she's coming back though, but man, it's like she's good. She's good in pretty much everything I see her in. Okay, Holes. All right, the Holes is getting a reboot pilot.
Yes.
And it is going to be a gender swap.
Yes.
According to early reports. The team behind it is Alina Mankin. She did some writing and production work for Kate Keane, The Mindy Project, as well as some other stuff. She's serving as a writer and an executive producer. Liz Fang of Yellow Jackets. I'm told that it's a pretty good show. I've heard nothing negative about it, so that's pretty exciting that she's tossing her hat in the ring for that one. She's going to serve as showrunner and an executive producer. Drew Goddard as an executive producer. Drew Goddard, you may know that name already from Daredevil season 1 as a showrunner. He also did The Martian, Lost. The Good Place, so many other things.
Lost being the only, it died off on the end there.
Yeah, that was early in his career though. That was early in the career.
He's gonna be like, you know what this series needs? A polar bear. We'll be like, they're digging holes in a desert. Where's the polar bear from?
That would be a good mystery. Okay, great mystery. A polar bear buried in the sand.
That's alive still.
That's alive still. Yes. Oh my gosh! Now we're getting a little out there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what.
Also rounding out the production team is Sarah Esberg, usually a collaborator with Drew Goddard. She's done things like The Oa, Okja, and Moonlight. So yeah, this sounds like it has a stacked production crew. And with resumes like that, I'm okay with this, you know what I mean? But like the book is great and the movie just as great. Yes. So like they have big shoes to fill, even if
they got a lot of holes to fill.
They do. So yeah, I'm completely fine.
Cautiously intrigued.
I'm cautiously optimistic. Okay.
Optimistic.
I'm cautiously optimistic because, like I said, it's a stacked production crew. Okay. I would trust these guys because I've watched a little bit of everything except the Yellow Jackets.
Yes.
And it's all amazing. Right.
Yes.
But like I said, Holes is you already have a beloved movie. You have a beloved book. So
beloved cast.
Yeah.
Henry Winkler, bro?
Yeah, Henry Winkler, but like
Shia LaBeouf had that turnaround, bro?
Nah, Shia LaBeouf is still on the outs.
No, bro, he had that turnaround.
No,
he's sober.
Is he sober?
Yes.
Didn't he? Okay, well,
sober. I can't remember.
I haven't heard about that, but okay, I'll give him the benefit.
Have you not watched his very heart-touching interview that he did on John Bernthal's podcast, bro? This
is the first time I'm hearing that John Bernthal has a podcast.
Yeah, it's called Real One. I believe it's Real Ones, and he does this interview was like 3 years ago that he did, right when he came out of rehab and all that, and he was talking about how he had his wife, his wife now, but at the time was just like one of his past girlfriends, and even he was all like, "Oh, I was horrible to her" and all that. And
okay.
the real
so he's on the mend. Yeah. He's making amends and stuff. Okay, all right.
Shia LaBeouf has that turnaround, bro. It's very touching too. Like I cried a lot during that interview when I watched it. So touching.
I'm about to start watching these.
Beloved.
You gotta send me links.
Sigourney Weaver, you know
what? Oh yes, I thought she was on the podcast.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about the cast here. You know, so like I'm saying, the cast, beloved, hard to.
Yeah, that is true.
To go. The Scrubs actor too.
The Scrubs actor?
Mm-hmm. No, not Scrub. Wait, yeah, Scrub, right? What? Or was it Psyched? It's Psyched? Yeah, Psyched.
Oh, Mr. Dule Hill?
I can fix that.
Dule Hill?
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, Dule Hill's in there. Yeah,
exactly.
He's still.
Basically, the who's of the early 2000s.
That is true. I mean, he at the time, I think he was playing Charlie in West Wing.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, this is just a rumor. The Punisher may be getting another series, live action series with John Bernthal, if Born Again does well. And why I'm saying if, let's be honest, man, Disney Plus's Marvel shows are kind of hit and miss. Now, I have yet to see one that I do not like in some capacity, but I can say that there are some that are not as good as others. Okay?
I can't really say much because I never watched Echo.
I watched that one. It's not as good as others, but it's still good. You know what I mean? I think Echo is probably one of the weakest ones. Like, because to me, WandaVision was the best one. Yes. To me, WandaVision and Loki.
I like
first season of Loki.
I
loved Hawkeye, man. I loved Hawkeye, but I think that's my biasness for Kate Bishop, and like not because of the actress or anything. It's just Kate Bishop is one of my favorite characters, and
I spent a lot of time trying to learn the coin flick. I got pretty good at it.
I accidentally hit myself in the eye.
I got pretty good. I was able to go and then I guess keeping with the rumor mill surrounding Punisher, it's probably not going to happen, but evidently just because I found it interesting, the rumor of that evidently the original thought, I've heard two different things for this too, was evidently one of the original ideas for Spider-Man 4 was going to be Scorpion and Shocker. And then, which I kind of liked that idea better than this next one because we were talking about it before and it just kind of sure, it'd be cool seeing them, but it doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't have any hype. Where it's Punisher and Spider-Man teaming up to take on the Hulk. It's okay.
There's not really a whole lot of build-up between any of the characters. First of all, there's no interaction between Frank and Peter at all in either of their personas. There's no interaction between anybody and the Hulk, maybe during the Endgame battle, but at the same time, Spider-Man never actually spoke, or did anything with the Hulk. Now, it would, if they expanded it to probably a 6 or 7 episode TV show, 45 minutes each, maybe we could get some backstory there, kind of like how they did with She-Hulk.
Yeah.
All right? Because they did from 30 minutes to 35, 40 minutes almost. And I think that would be a good way to start. But you can't just toss them in a 2-hour movie and expect, oh my God, everybody's gonna love this. Nah, we're not.
I know some people that I was seeing were oh, what were y'all doing? This would have been amazing. And I'm not really.
You don't think about the ins and outs. How does it start?
Kind of glad that it's evidently not gonna happen. I'm more upset that evidently they're not going with the Scorpion and Shocker route because they just forgot about Scorpion, bro.
At first they said it was supposed to be more down to earth.
Yeah,
that's why they were going to include Daredevil in the new Spider-Man 4 movie, and then maybe Punisher. So they were going to take on Mayor Fisk.
Yeah,
that's the rumor. And then now after Venom, now it's going to be another interdimensional thing where they're going to supposedly take on symbiotes.
Yeah.
No idea. All of these are rumors going around right now, but nobody has come out and said, which one is valid, which one is more likely to happen.
And you see the mayor line too? Could have been pretty cool because he becomes mayor and he's look, I can't be seen doing stuff, so you know what? Give me Shocker and Scorpion.
That's pretty much what happens during Devil's Reign.
And then Spider-Man's all bro, I need help. And then Punisher, Daredevil come.
Yeah. I mean, they're Spider-Man 4, Devil's Reign. Bam, right there. Fixed everything. All right, so we'll see how it goes. Next up, moving on to the world of anime, Sailor Moon is rebroadcasting on to Nami, starting January 25th at 3 a.m. Eastern. So that's what for us? Like
Eastern? That's
like what, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning?
Roughly, I think they're like 2 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, so about 1 in the morning.
Yeah, if I remember the time difference when I went to like New York, yeah, it was like 2 hours ahead.
Okay, so about 1 in the morning here in Texas. But yeah, Sailor Moon has not been on broadcast for quite a while, and this is pretty exciting for a bunch of the anime lovers. Solo leveling side stories following Igris and Ashborn have been announced. No release date, but Ashborn supposedly is coming out first. Whether or not that's by the end of the year, we do not know. But we do know that it is anime, not mangas or anything like that. So yeah, get excited. Delicious in Dungeon Season 2 has been announced, continuing from Chapter 53 of the manga. Not only that, but it is animated by Studio Trigger and is expected to hit Netflix hopefully by the end of next year. Like I said, there's no solid date yet, so we don't really know when it's coming out. But they did announce the studio working on it, so Studio Trigger is pretty damn good.
Nice.
Now, a couple small reviews. Did you watch Shifting Gears?
I have not yet. No, I still
Dang it, man. Okay, we can't watch it. We can't do Shifting Gears because you haven't seen it. I'll do Sakamoto Days because you haven't. It? Yes, I did. I watched it last night. We won't do Shifting Gears because he hasn't seen it yet.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna end up doing like a 2 episode watch then. For the new episode.
For on Thursday night? Thursday? Yeah. As for Sakamoto Days, he's not going to watch it. But I do recommend that you do watch it, though. So Sakamoto Days, if you don't know about the manga, it follows a retired hitman that found love for a woman and a country and all this stuff in Japan, right? This guy was the apex friggin' assassin. This guy was John Wick on steroids. All right. And one day comes across this woman, falls immediately in love, and decides to retire. All right. Nice. But the problem is, you can't just retire.
Can't just leave that life, you know.
And this is the manga. Okay. Sakamoto Days, the anime, its first episode dropped yesterday, January 10th, or January 11th. What's today?
It's the
12th, right?
Is it the 12th?
Dang it, man.
Let me see. It's the 12th today, yes.
So yesterday, January 11th, on Netflix, episode 1 is already dubbed. A lot of people are saying that the dub don't really match up, but honestly, man, the dude doesn't really talk that much. All he needs to do is like 3 lines. That's it, and he is a man of few words. All right.
I only have 3 lines.
The funny thing about this is,
I saw the Robin Williams Elmo thing the other day. So that's what
Getting back to stick Elmo.
Elmo's like, Elmo only had 3 lines. Okay.
Anyway, Sakamoto Days. He like I said, he's this apex.
What's Sakamoto?
He's this apex assassin. Decides to leave the life, and like it's years later. I think in the story it's like 5 years later, and he is out of shape, and he gets found by one of his old partners. Well, partner's like, hey, you gotta come back, or something bad's gonna happen. And Sakamoto's like, nah, I ain't having it.
Means one who lives at the bottom of the slope.
I mean, like, this dude is at the top of the slope, all right? He looks like twice my size.
Maybe it's an ironic thing. Then.
Yeah, probably.
Like tiny,
Yeah. He's like twice my size, and dude is still friggin' spry. He's taking out people left and right.
He's a punter. He's a kingpin guy.
Kind of. No, but like he is straight up like big. He's it's not all muscle. He's got some fat. He's got some wiggle, and it does play into like the comedic fashion here and there, right? And he is deceptively strong, so everybody kind of like, oh man, you let yourself go. There's no way this is gonna happen. Then bam, tosses you through a building. Not even exaggerating. Toss him through a building. All right. It seems like one of those, over the top animes where a bunch of weird stuff happens. It reminds me of like John Wick mixed in with One Punch Man, mixed in with some other weird stuff going on.
Mr. Nobody? No, not
kind of. Nobody. Almost. But he's not like he's not down on life. Like his family loves him. He loves his family. He loves his community. His community loves him. All right. He is in a positive place in his life, and he ain't gonna risk that for anything. And then later on in previews that you see online, you're like, you learn a little bit more about the wife. Like she totally knows what he does. She totally knows what he did.
Nice. He's open about it.
Yeah.
See, this is how you get stuff going.
Yeah. Like she totally knows what was happening, what was going on, and at least it seems that way from their interactions and everything, and then the previews and stuff. But one of the previews for a later episode has her saying, "Remember, if you kill anybody, I'm gonna divorce you." And he's like, "Worse." Like he can't like he now everybody knows where he is, and he's like you know, top class kind of thing. So everybody's gunning for him because of the name. You know what I mean? So now he can't kill anybody. But like by the end of it, he's got a buddy with him. That's on Netflix. It is on Netflix.
Add to watch list.
It's coming out weekly. So like you can't just go and binge it all, which really sucks.
I'll take a few weeks then. I'll take a few weeks, but it's on the watch list now.
Yes, it's really good. Like I said, John Wick mixed in with One Punch Man, and you know a bunch of funny stuff happens. All right, I like it. A lot of people don't like the animation because some parts feel like a motion comic, and I can see why they say that. But dude, I loved the Way of the House Husband was, and this is more animated than Way of the House Husband, and so the animation to me is pretty good. But like I said, I can see why some people don't really care for it too much. Honestly, in my opinion, I give it a 5 out of 5. I'm super stoked to see where this because I haven't read the manga, so I'm super stoked to see where this goes. And now I kind of want to read the manga as soon as it gets restocked over at Diamond. So yeah, that's a review for Sakamoto Days. Every Saturday on Netflix. I think it's supposed to run for 11, maybe 12 episodes.
That's a lot of weeks.
Yeah.
It's so wild how I used to be able to be so stoked for the next weekly episode of a show, and now I'm all like, ugh.
Netflix ruined it for us, and now look what they're doing.
Now they're bringing it back to it, and I'm like,
yeah. So moving on to the world of games, Halo: The Master Chief Collection is rumored to be coming to the PS5 and the Switch consoles. This follows a bunch of rumors ever since Sony acquired Bungie. I think was a few years ago. Now everybody, it is not officially confirmed. So like I said, supposedly this is a rumor. But a trusted insider source has revealed that, it's probably being fast-tracked to hopefully before the end of the year. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I was never really a Halo guy, but then again, I was never really an Xbox guy.
Yeah, like that's
I think
thing. It was like,
but it's first person, so that's why I wasn't really. But I played 1 and 2. I just didn't really care for them.
The most I've ever played any Halo game was just like when I'd go over for LAN parties with my buddies, and out of my real, bro. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies at work the other day, and like we were like, LAN party, and then like all my other coworkers, because like the coworker I was talking to was like around my age, and they were like, what'd you say?
What's a LAN party?
And I was all like,
you gotta watch out with who
a LAN party, bro. Like, you know what a LAN line is? And then I was like,
wait, look, I stopped myself
mid sentence, and I was like, why the heck did I say that?
Your age starts with 1.
I was like, why did I say that? Like, and then so, but yeah, like they were all, I was in my friends group, I was like the only one that was a PlayStation guy. They were all Xbox, so I'd go over there and it'd just be Xbox. So we'd play, the most I ever played was just like, the Battle Royals. Yeah. And them, and that's all. So like, I've never really played like the storyline or anything. But I know who Master Chief is, because at the time, it's like, bro, it's Master Chief.
But yeah, me, James, and Tony, we would go over to Tony's house and we'd have we'd take over the GameCube, all that stuff, Xbox, sometimes PlayStation, and we'd all just be playing in his room. I remember buying myself like 3 cases of mixed Monster, MIXXD. All right, they don't have that anymore. It was juice. Okay, it friggin' tasted like grape juice, and it was amazing. And I was so wired on it, and then eventually it went away, and I'm like super sad about it now. But but it's just. You don't have that anymore. Yeah, you can play online with your friends, but you're not in the same room. Like, you don't have the magic anymore.
Even though I know it's not gonna be there, every single time I buy a new game, I flip to the back and I'm all like players, and it's like 1 player, multiplayer online. I'm all like, I still die a little bit whenever I see that. I'm like, what happened to my
You know, we can still do split screen on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I like eventually I want to just have like big like Switch parties here and play it on that big screen back in the back.
I keep wanting to get like new Joy-Cons for my Switch, but I keep seeing so much stuff about like possibility of the Switch 2 coming out fairly soon that I'm all like, I don't want to spend
all the rumors, all the recent rumors, completely denied by Nintendo.
Yeah, so sad. But I'm like, ugh. Especially since I know it's going to be. The only thing they confirmed is it's definitely backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, ah.
Got to wait until at least an announcement of a date. Then you can be like, okay, well, I have enough. Is this enough time to get my use out of this?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So next up, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed again from February 14th, 2025 to March 20th, 2025. This year,
delayed.
According to them, in order to incorporate feedback from friends in like a statement from Ubisoft, it's apparently in order to incorporate feedback from fans in addition to providing the development team extra time to refine and polish the game before its release.
Be honest, Ubisoft. You're just worried about when GTA 6 is going to come out.
I think everybody is. Nobody knows when it is, and because I remember Rockstar won't tell anybody.
I remember seeing that like a few weeks ago, where they're all like, so many games are getting pushed back, and they're like, reports are because nobody wants to release within like a month or two time span of GTA 6 because they know no money's gonna be made if they do. It's like
honestly, man, like just do it. Just do it. All right, it's gonna
bite the bullet.
You're gonna do what it's gonna do. All right, there's no stopping it. Next up, we're finishing out. Marvel Rivals teases season 2 character details. So supposedly at the end of season 1, Dracula may or may not be defeated, meaning that whoever he has captured is released. Who the hell would Dracula capture if not Blade, right?
Moon Knight, because he doesn't want to pay him his money.
But he's already a playable character. And
then he becomes not playable for a little bit.
That would suck.
That would
suck. Like, you take the character away. Do they do that?
I don't know.
MOBAs like this?
I wouldn't.
I would
that'd be weird if they did.
Like, Moon Knight's not my main, but at the same time, like, that would suck. It's kind of like it's kind of like that Warner Brothers one.
It'd be wild if they did. Remember, what if he kidnaps Moon Knight and then they give you that different character, that one that was in Blood Hunt.
The one that was in Hunter's Moon.
Yeah,
I thought he was an alternate skin.
No, I think they gave you Mr. Knight as an
alternate. You're right. You're right.
They gave us Mr. Knight, and some people are upset because they're like, man, they could have like gave him a different voice or whatever, and then they're like all the little things that they're pulling apart, like how when he glides he still has the cape, and they're like, nah, that sucks, bro, he's not supposed to have that. And it's like, yeah, well, you know. I
don't like how they this is just a gripe from me, how they did it in the movie. How his personality switches which Moon Knight persona it is. I don't like that. I don't, because like they're all Moon Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Stephen Grant plays Moon Knight differently as you know, a detective kind of thing. So yeah, like, but Mark Spector is also dressed up as Mr. Knight because he does business dealings too.
Yeah.
All right, and then you have Jake Lockley, who also dresses up as Mr. Knight because he's like, I look good, and he's. But yeah, it's so like they all take on Mr. Knight or Moon Knight or whatever the hell the thing with the chainsaw guy was. I think he might have been still Moon Knight. I'm not sure. But it was before my time.
I see where you're coming from, but like me not being much into Moon Knight, like I'm not really like, I'm kind of with it. But at the same time too, especially when they're like bringing it to a broader audience with the show, it does make it easier for them to be like, oh, okay, this person, he's him now. Oh, this is Mark. Oh, okay, no, this is, you know, like that, the way to differentiate between that. And then going back to the game, I saw a video where someone was all like, comic accurate Moon Knight fighting, and he's like, you know, messing people up. And in my head, I'm all like, comic accurate Moon Knight would be getting hit like crazy and still doing.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He is good. Like he
because that was one little.
He's basic. Like I know there's been the joke. There's been the joke that he's basically Marvel's Batman, and that was never the case. Like Moon Knight can be compared to Batman all day long, and you'll be wrong doing that. These days, his level of combat like prowess, I guess you would say, his level of kung fu fighting or whatever. He is on par with Batman.
See, like,
but they also gave a reason for it. The reason is, according to Hunter's Moon, the new character, right, that came out a couple years ago, every Moon Knight is supposed to be downloaded mystically with the skills and sort of. No, like, not the abilities. They are downloaded with the knowledge of it, right? Knowledge, and, you know, like, you're able to replicate them. But Mark Spector, his brain's messed up. He's schizophrenic and stuff, so it wasn't able to really take. But after a certain point, he started accessing it, and he started getting better. And since Mark was a soldier already trained, he knows how to use them more effectively than Hunter's Moon, who was a doctor. So he's like, okay, I can do this, but if I do it this way, it'll be a little bit better, kind of thing. And that's how he ends up being like super badass as a fighter now.
See, like, I always kind of took it that he was good at fighting, just because he's a Moon Knight. But yeah, and he's a Marine. But at the same time, I always took it as like he just doesn't care if he gets hit or not. Especially, that's why I was like, I think I remember hearing one time what they were like, Taskmaster doesn't like copying his shit or his stuff. My bad, because.
We're still PG-13. We're fine.
We're on one because of the fact that he's like, I don't want to get hit, and this guy will just allow himself to be hit all the time just because. So like, yeah, that's kind of why when I was watching the video, I was all like, bro, he just lore accurate Moon Knight would be on the cusp of death every time. Yeah.
Oh, and then like, he came back from the dead recently, and now he's just like even more like, like he's like. He's ready to fight. But like, when he comes back from the dead, it's pretty much like the Lazarus pit kind of thing. Like, he comes back a little less of himself every time he comes back.
He's already kind of split. Wild.
And that was more lore dropped onto us by Jed McKay's run with the Hunter's Moon. Yeah, every time you die, you come back, but eventually you ain't going to come back, because every time you die, a little piece of yourself gets lost.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, yeah. That about does it for our movies, TV, and more segment.
Besides for the fact that my sadness of the fact that I had not read the fine print and did not see that my boy Johnny and The Thing were not coming out until February. I logged on after work on Friday, and I was all like, okay,
they're not there, man.
I was like, there's Reed. There's Reed, which I've been laughing so much because with the videos of them showing like Sue, how she looks in there, and people are all like, oh, Reed can't handle that. And I saw this one dude who was all like, what you mean? What you mean he can't handle it? Mr. Reed, how much do you need?
Oh my gosh.
I was all like, I've never heard that before. And that is one of the
And now every time I open the game, I'm going to think about that.
And so, but yeah, my sadness that I saw that and was all like, where's he at? Where's my boy? And then I had to look on, and I was all like, oh, it won't come out till February, till the end of February.
Like they split it up in a like season 1, parts 1 and 2, where you know, just the first two, the married couple.
Sense,
and then like, have you seen the videos of his interaction with Namor?
No.
Like, like he's like, him and Namor are talking, and like, okay, it looks like our goals are aligned. And then Namor starts asking about Sue, and Reed tells him, Namor, if you talk about my wife again, our alliance is going to come to a premature end.
Yeah.
But yeah, that about does it for our movies, TV, and more. If you like the Rantings and Ravings to Mad Men, give us a like, follow, share us with your friends, and we will see you guys next week.